If you've got a massage gun, there are 5 areas of the body that you should never treat. And in today's video, I'm going to show you what those areas are so you can safely avoid them. If you don't know who I am, my name is Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties specialist physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today we're going to be talking about the 5 areas of the body that you should never treat with a massage gun. Now, massage guns are really common. They're useful tools that you can use to loosen up tightness and stiffness in the body, and I do recommend them, but there are some areas that should not be touched with a massage gun because they can do more harm than good. So we're going to have a look at each of the 5 areas now. I'm going to show you where not to use your massage gun aside from the obvious, and in this way you can avoid pain and injury. So there are 5 areas of the body that you would not want to use a massage gun because you're running the risk of injury. And I'm going to show you what those 5 areas are in just a moment. But before I go any further, I just want to say I do actually like massage guns as a treatment tool. I think they're great for loosening up muscle tightness and stiffness. And one of my favorite massage guns is this, the Bob & Brad T2 massage gun. They sent it to me to try a few weeks ago, and I've been really impressed with how good this little piece of kit is. I use it quite a lot on my forearms because where I'm working on clients, I get stiff, tight forearms here, and it helps me to loosen it up. But you could use this bit of kit just about anywhere in the body, apart from these 5 key places. So let's have a chat about where the places are that you want to avoid treating with a massage gun. And the first one might surprise you, and that area is the IT band. Now, your IT band is a tough band of collagen that goes all the way down the outside of the upper leg. It joins the hip to the knee, and it's not a muscle, it's made up of collagen. So it's like a bunch of white fibers that run all the way down here. They can't contract, and we don't have any control over them. They're just inert. They're there to help control the structure of the leg. And the IT band can feel tight quite a lot of the time. That can sometimes show up as discomfort coming down the outside of the leg. Sometimes it can show up as pain on the outside of the knee, which we call runner's knee. And sometimes it can show up as pain on the outside of the hip as well. So one of the common things people do when they've got a tight IT band is they use their massage gun up and down the outside of the leg. And sometimes this might feel nice, it might feel like it's doing something, and it certainly feels quite sore when you do it. But the problem is the IT band has got the tensile strength of steel. Okay, so that means no matter how hard we pummel it with one of these, we're not going to do anything to the IT band. We're just going to make ourselves sore. So if you do have a tight IT band, what you want to do instead is treat the areas that attach to it. So instead of treating the IT band, the areas you would want to treat would be your quads, so your vastus lateralis, which is just about an inch in front of the IT band. So your IT band is down here, your vastus lateralis is just an inch in front, so that would be a good area to treat. You can also treat your hamstrings at the back. That's another good area to treat that will help to loosen up what feels like IT band tightness. And most important, you want to treat your upper gluteal muscles up here. So the muscles at the back of the hip, these attach to the IT band, and if they get tight, they cause that sensation of tightness. So don't treat the IT band, but you can treat the structures that attach to it. Now, the next area of the body we want to definitely avoid treating when it comes to a massage gun is the greater trochanter. And your greater trochanter is an area of the hip, and it's the bone that lives on the outside of the hip. So if you're standing upright like this and you run your hand down your side, the first thing you'll get to is your pelvis bone, so that's called the iliac crest. You're going to keep coming down, and then the second bone you get to on the outside of your hip is the greater trochanter. And this is a bone which is, or this is a part of the femur bone, which is your thigh bone. And it's a bony notch that lives on the outside of the leg there. And if you rub it, it can feel a little bit sore. And now this is the area of the body that people with hip bursitis or GTPS, greater trochanteric pain syndrome, have pain in. It's a very, very common problem. It's one of the most common hip complaints. So naturally, when people get a massage gun and they've got hip bursitis, the first thing they think they might want to do is get the massage gun onto the bit that hurts. Now, The thing is, when you're treating this, all you're doing is compressing that tendon against the bone. So it's not going to give you relief, it's actually just going to make it sore. And I've just been doing this for about 10 seconds now, and I can actually already feel the soreness starting to develop. So it's a very bad idea to treat that bone there with the massage gun. So if you do have a problem in that region, a much better bet is again to treat the glutes. So you're going to come away from the bony bit and come around the back, because this is the muscle that forms the tendon that attaches to the painful point. So we want to get right into the muscle belly rather than the tendon, and that should give you a lot better of a result, less pain, less stiffness and less aggravation than if you just start pummeling the bone. So definitely avoid the greater trochanter. It's on the outside of your hip, and if you do that and treat the glutes instead, you'll have a much better result. Now, the next area of the body that you want to avoid treating with a massage gun is the patellofemoral joint. Now, your patellofemoral joint is part of the knee, and this is one of the most common areas of the knee that causes pain. So the patellofemoral joint is categorized as anything around the front of your knee here. So you've got your patella here, which is your kneecap, and then underneath it, we've got a very sensitive area of the body called Hoffer's fat pad, and that area can become incredibly irritated for people who have pain at the front of their knee. So if you've got pain at the front of your knee, sometimes it can be tempting to use a massage gun to treat that area, and it might feel like it needs a bit of a massage around there to almost loosen it up. And some people tell us that we should treat the tendon as well, that we should dig into that tendinous area here. But really, you're going to aggravate that sensitive soft tissue pad. So that fat pad there is packed full of blood vessels and nerves, so it can't take much pressure before it starts to swell and become inflamed. And if you're treating that area with a massage gun, you're really running the risk of making it worse. So if you do have pain at the front of the knee, you can still use one of these, but what I'd recommend you do instead is treat your quads. And the way you would do that is probably in a sitting position, and you're just going to treat the muscle bulk at the front of the leg, using the massage gun to work your way up and down the muscle, just in the fleshy areas. You can see I'm not putting tons of pressure in, but if I find a tight spot, I'm just focusing my attention on that bit just for a few seconds before moving on. And that's a much better way of treating that problem rather than treating over the knee itself. Now, the next area we want to avoid treating with one of these is the sciatic notch. And the sciatic notch is an area of your pelvis which can often be very painful for people who have sciatica. So the sciatic notch is about here. So it's underneath your buttock, and on the skeleton, I'll show you where that is now. It's here, okay? So the sciatic notch is just above the sitting bones, and it's the area of the pelvis where the sciatic nerve runs through. So if you were to pummel this area of the pelvis with your massage gun, all you're doing is trapping the sciatic nerve between the bone. And even if you've got bad sciatica that feels like it needs something in there just to loosen it up, it's going to make it worse because you're just going to aggravate the nerve. So what I see people doing is they have their massage gun, they switch it on pretty strongly, and then they dig it right deep into their buttock here, really trying to get into that sciatic nerve. And it might feel like that's what it needs, just like it sometimes feels like you should stretch your hamstrings with sciatica, but it's one of those trick things where if you do it, it will make sciatica worse. So if you do have sciatica, again, instead of treating the sciatic notch right up into that painful bit there, I would encourage you instead to have a go at treating the glutes, which are a little bit higher up in the pelvis. So I would go to the upper glutes, so just below the belt line like this. You might also find that treating down in the leg where the sciatic nerve is, just doing it gently can help to loosen off the pain. And one of my favorite areas of the leg to treat when it comes to sciatica is down the outside of the calf, around the head of the fibula. Now, these areas of massage can all produce relief for people who have sciatica, even if the cause of the sciatica is up in your back. It just seems to do something to the way the brain processes the pain, and it can reduce your pain down. Now, as with any of the treatment techniques I'm showing you here, they're definitely not suitable for everyone, so make sure you get checked out by your doctor before you give them a try, and just know that they're not designed to treat any specific health condition. And then the fifth and final area of the body to avoid treating with a massage gun, and this is a big one for those of you with plantar fasciitis, is the heel bone. Now, a lot of people have plantar fasciitis. It's pain underneath the heel. It's particularly bad in the mornings, and most people with it find that they have pain here, okay? It's right on the spot there. I had it a few years ago and it's really, really unpleasant. Now, many people come to me with a massage gun and this problem, and they've said, Will, I've been treating that heel bone area and I just feel like it's making it worse. They've been doing something like this. And sometimes it can feel like that's what it needs because it's almost like there's a stone in your foot. And people erroneously think if I just work that out with a massage gun, it's going to go away. But the truth is, again, we're just irritating an inert structure that attaches to the bone. You're making the inflammation worse. If there's any little tears there, you're at risk of aggravating them. So instead of treating the heel, a much better place to treat would either be the middle of the foot. So you can treat the sole of the foot here. That would be quite safe. And the other place that works really well for plantar fasciitis with a massage gun is to treat the calf. And again, this is a really safe place to treat because it's quite fleshy. Obviously check with your doctor first, but for most people it's going to be absolutely fine. And when you work the calf instead of the heel underneath the foot, you're loosening up the Achilles that attaches to the heel, and then you're loosening up the plantar fascia as a result. Okay, so it's like an indirect way to treat plantar fasciitis. So instead of treating the bone, treat the fleshy parts. If I had to give you one macro rule for how to use one of these, it's never use it over a bony part of the body because you're probably going to make it sore. But fleshy parts of the body tend to be okay, although that doesn't apply to everything. So those are the 5 areas you should never treat with a massage gun. I hope that video has been useful. If it has, please do drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. And if you want to get more from me, you can pick up a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50, and you can find it on Amazon using the link below. And in addition to that, if you want to get more from me every single week, I have a weekly newsletter that I send out called 3 Tip Friday. Every Friday it has 3 health tips. It goes to thousands of people already. You can sign up using one of the links below. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you on the next episode.